Hello and welcome to News 9 Facebook Live with me, Adarsh Vepachedu. Now, there is plenty of outrage surrounding Donald Trump's description of the air and air quality in India as filthy. Now, that was the only mention of India during the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden that mostly stayed clear of foreign policy and strategic interests. Let's listen to what Trump had said and then we shall tell you the truth about it.
Look at China, how filthy it is. Look at Russia. Look at India. It's filthy. The air is filthy.
Now, any Indian listening to that will not like it. But as I say, is there any stuff behind what Donald Trump is saying? Just 2 days ago, I came across the State of Global Air 2020 report. And what this report said did not come as a surprise to me. It said India recorded the highest annual average particulate matter 2.5 concentration exposure in the world last year. India was followed by Nepal, Niger, Qatar and Nigeria in high PM 2.5 exposures. This means people in India are exposed to the highest PM 2.5 concentrations globally. The report also said that India has been recording an increase in PM 2.5 pollution since 2010, contrary to the centre's claims that annual air pollution levels in the country are coming down. To tell us more about this report and how it is now or never that we have to pull up our socks and do something about air pollution, we have with us Suresh Heblikar, a renowned environmentalist, joining us on the program. Many thanks, sir, for speaking to us. Now, obviously, Donald Trump did not base his random outrage at India on the State of Global Air report, but he ended up being right. What do you have to say about the report, and doesn't it come as a warning for India?
Yes, I do agree with what he said, that India is producing very high air pollution. Well, just as you said, even the Hindustan Times has reported that there is a 2.5 particulate matter 2.5 concentration of air pollution, which is the highest in India, followed by then Nepal, then Niger, Japan, and Qatar and other countries. See, the thing is, we are producing a very high amount of air pollution because of the economic productions, manufacturing, and then the number of vehicles on the road have increased tremendously in the last about 10 to 15 years, right? And everybody is chasing wealth. There was a brilliant report by the Stanford University 10 years ago stating that how increased economic activities and industrial expansion, and then followed by the increased demand for increased goods of the increased population. Because today we have a huge population whose needs have become wants. Earlier, what we needed, today they have become, what were earlier wants, today they are needs.
True.
Everybody wants to have a vehicle, everybody wants to have a phone, everybody wants to have a computer, laptop. They all want to have modern gadgets. How are these produced? They are produced by using tremendous amount of oil, gas and coal. And a developing country like India has to resort to coal because it is cheaper compared to oil and gas, which the Western countries are using. So we have increased, no doubt about it, the particulate matter 2.5 exposure, that is a concentration of air pollution, and a large number of people in India who are, actually migrating to the urban areas where the population is more, where the industrial activities are more, where the economic and commercial expansions are increasing every day. So naturally, people are getting exposed to these high-quality air pollution.
True.
And it has a tremendous risk on our health.
True.
Because see, air quality, if it directly affects our lungs, it directly affects our blood pressure.
Especially with COVID in the air. Too.
Exactly. The systolic blood pressure goes up, and then it has a lot of heart ailments. It has lungs ailments, and then there are a lot of premature deaths which are taking place in India in the last 10 to 15 years. It is mainly because we have not controlled the pollution levels, both, whether water, soil and air. Air is the highest. Delhi is one of the most polluted 20 cities in the world. You just, and if today the elections are won in Delhi, it is mainly because who is controlling the air pollution. That is why the politicians there, they make a big news of trying to do something to address the air pollution.
True, true,
Air
true.
pollution has to be controlled at any
Correct,
cost.
correct.
Otherwise, it will lead to, see, today we have a COVID, which has spread all across the world. And then followed by this, then we have volatile organic compounds also,
Yeah.
which are coming because we have increased the number of vehicles, we have industrial boilers, we have so many other economic expansions, which are putting the burning of fossil fuels to
True, true.
sink
So
the-
there's quite a
Yes.
few reasons why we are where we are. But once again, Mr. Suresh, we're talking about a man who had asked Greta Thunberg to go to school, and now he's pointing fingers at India. But America is no country of saints. The whole world is aware of the kind of pollution that the United States is causing. Your thoughts on that, please?
Yeah. No, see, for instance, there is one thing. United States has a lot of scientists. United States has a lot of Nobel Prize winners.
Yeah.
Okay? They have in physics, they have in chemistry, they have in economics, they have in literature. But, and then the governments, unfortunately, are not coming out with the bare fact, with the fact that how America, being the world's greatest industrial, and the power, industrial power, is the greatest financial power in the world.
Is led by
And
someone who does not believe in
See,
global warming.
The amount of hardware, the military hardware they manufacture. I have seen virtually the Colorado River, which flows about 600 kilometers to reach Niagara Falls from Grand Canyon, and then there is the Lake Powell, which is the third biggest lake in the world,
Okay.
which is now only at the efficiency of 45%. It does not reach the sea at all. So these are the things which cause volatile organic compounds release. Then the nitrogen oxide, which also is released into the air, which is causing like our ozone.
Correct.
Ozone is also very high in India. In the last year, it was the highest. In the last 3 years, we have seen the highest exposure of ozone, and people are getting exposed to all these things. So what I'm saying is, the economic activities, the economic production, the economic power by which the GDP is counted, by which every nation wants to lead the world, saying that we want to be on the footpath of on the path of American. See, like for instance, China.
Yeah.
About 25 years ago, China was a wonderful country, but I had gone to China and I had seen them. They were economically trying to reform. It was coming in a very small way. But within just a matter of 1 decade, they overtook many other countries in Asia.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so today, China, Russia, India are the highest pollution, are producing tremendous amount of
And
pollution.
there are proper reasons for it. Mr. Suresh, bottom line really is, fighting pollution needs a concerted global effort, and it should never be a matter of competition like how Trump is making out to
You
be.
are right.
What are
Yeah,
your
I
thoughts
agree.
on where we are headed as a global community in combating air pollution that continues to claim scores of lives every year?
Yeah. No, I do agree with you because, see, the world has, for instance, the United Nations General Secretary, he was in India about a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
He was addressing Indians saying that we have to reduce, the power by about 45%. Power in India is produced mainly by coal.
Correct.
We cannot afford to have gas and oil, as I told you earlier. But see, the economic activities have to be at a higher level in India because we are 125 or 130 crore people. We have more than 50% of the Indian population consisting of the youngsters, which is spanning between about 20 to 35 or something like that. We have to give them jobs. Now, do you look at environment or do you look at survival?
Okay.
There are two things. Unfortunately, this world is going by economics. When the
Correct.
population was less, people were walking, people were using cycle, people were healthy, they were not falling sick by any simple ailments. It was a much better. We had our air pollution also much less. About 150 to 200 years ago, there were only 7,000 metric tons of CO2 in the atmosphere. Today, it has gone about 1 million times more.
Yeah.
So much is the economic activity. We are mad. See, the amount of, unfortunately, you are talking from a channel which also has to depend on your GTP or RTP, whatever you call.
True.
your rate has to be there because you have to run advertisements. You have to give slogans to the various products. Otherwise, you cannot run your this thing. Your,
That's how it works. Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, this economics has come in the way, but we have to find. Because I have met some of the scientists who say that they have the technology which they have perfected, which can arrest the release of emission into the atmosphere, but it costs a lot of money. But the government also is not clearing it, because if the government clears it, so many other economic productions will stop.
Okay.
Because if we have pollution, there are so many other items, electronics, so many equipment, so many laboratories, so many scientists.
In the end, it's all about striking a very clear balance between economy and lives, if I were to say that, what kind of a situation you're really living in. Many thanks, Mr. Suresh, for joining us and for sharing with us your insights on what Donald Trump has said about India and what the State of Global Air Report 2020 has to say about India. They're on the same page, so to speak. And yes, the need of the hour on ground is conscious and sustainable economic activity, conscious and sustainable development, because while we head forward, we should not forget that we have to take care of our surroundings, of our air, because that's what we're going to leave behind for the next generation. If you like the information that we've shared with you, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to News 9 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Many thanks for joining us.